Hey, what is happening, everyone?
What's
Welcome
happening?
back to another sausage sizzle on a Sunday night. Tonight we have our boy Chris with us. Welcome, Chris. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's an absolute honor, guys.
It's awesome to have you here. Obviously, we've got our boy Brad Diver Flipper with us as usual. Rocking the Kirk Cobain, doing a bit of promo for the sale, I reckon. So you're looking good in it, mate. You're looking good in it.
Yeah, just slip into me DMs. I don't even have to watch it. If you want it unwatched, it can come unwatched.
Oh, it'd be worth an
totally your
extra
choice.
Don't tempt them.
That's worth extra money, I reckon. We've got a bunch of people in, so we'll try and say hello to them along the way as we get through. But we always like to say g'day to Robbie. He's in the house. Square Eyes Rotten Brain, the new channel. Always good to see. The distanced octopus tonight. Changed the name up. We got Captain. We got Disney Thrifter of Oz. We got Kara as always. We got Captain. We got Stay in Your Own Lane. What is up? We've got Drew and Sarah. And Chris is multitasking here. He's in the chat as well as live. So you're better than I am, mate. You're better than I am. And Scotty's in the house. Rack Raiders, Oz Riley. Heaps of people here. So thanks everyone for coming and joining us on a Sunday night. As always, if you have any questions along the way, drop them in the chat. I can't guarantee we'll be able to answer them because it's Sunday session. You never know what's going to happen on a Sunday session. Brad's on the VB, so we'll...
Only one. I had a bit of a crack at him yesterday watching the footy, the Mighty Doggies.
Got up again.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Sunza.
Sunza what? Sunza
the West. 5-0. Come on. How's the footy? How good's the footy at the minute?
I was not happy today because we lost to Robbie's team, which is unfortunate. But look, you got to prop Freo up a little bit. You got to give them a win during the season so they don't just turn around and quit. So that's
why he's here. That's why he's back tonight.
I'm surprised I didn't get a message actually, but maybe he's holding out until I'm live and it'll just make me cry. But we won't go too much into footy tonight because we want to find out a lot about Chris. But as always, we always do a bit of a wrap around and find out what's been happening for the week. So, Brad, how's the week been on eBay or in general, really?
Inconsistent. It's playing the eBay games at the minute. The old roller coaster. I sort of had a couple of really good days midweek and then kind of drop-offs. Still seeing eBay doing a lot of back-end work. You know me, I love a good eBay conspiracy, and I just think that can be playing with our stores a bit, talking to a few other resellers, and, you kind of get into a groove and you know where you're at with your sales, don't you? And it's always around that sort of mark, and you just know when there's that drop-off. And I've had a couple of days there, especially yesterday. Yesterday was crap, but today kind of picked back up and made up for it. So, you don't look at it from day to day, do you? And even for me these days, I don't even look at it week to week, to be honest. I'm trying to sort of push it further than that. But, I mean, as a whole, not bad. But it's the old fucking roller coaster. It's like one of those octopus's arms in there or one of his tentacles. It's just fucking all over the joint.
Slapping around. Chris, what about yourself, mate?
It's been weird. Literally the roller coaster. I mean, to be honest, if I'm actually just looking at my numbers, and I'm probably on track to do the highest in value, but it's just been inconsistent. Like, I unfortunately lost my 44-day streak, and I had a day where it hit 0, and then the next day after I had 5 sales. So I was like, come on, like, what's going on? So a little annoying. And because I'm very, numbers and data driven at this point, being early days, for that's exciting. But all in all, it's inconsistent. But hey, I can't complain.
When you said 44-day streak, all I saw in the chat was Tommy saying that he was searching fake taxi and it accidentally brought him here. So you do a lot of running, but I didn't know you did streaking, Chris. But thanks for clearing that up for us.
Yeah, they're an unlisted video. Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, you got to pay for those ones. Saw a few more drop in. Raucous Reg, Charlie's in the house. We also got Tamara and Bianca. Good to see you guys. Thanks for being here, and obviously Tommy. So yeah, I think same with us. Really, we've had sort of an up and down last couple of weeks, and we're starting to sort of consider what things were sort of holding us back, because we had a massive dip off last week, which was my fault from promoted listing issue. and we put a lot of effort in getting it back, and we've had almost $1,000 day today. So it's nice to see when you put in that back end work, even if it takes a couple of days or even a week to get there. It's nice to see it come through. So I've heard a lot of people in the same sort of situation though, of like slower sales with like holidays and stuff, and Easter being around not that long ago. It's interesting to see and hear from everyone like where they're at the moment. So I think we're all in the same sort of boat, which is good and bad at the same time, because you'd like everyone to be succeeding rather than sort of having those up and down days. But today we're here to talk about taking a risk on yourself and jumping pretty much balls deep into going full time, which Chris has done, and Brad went probably 6-7 months ago now. So I want to talk to you guys, and obviously I'm the odd one out here, still hustling full time and in a day job and trying to keep things running after work. But I want to hear from you guys how things have been. Now, I'll probably start with Chris in this case, Brad, because I want to hear from Chris sort of what he was sort of thinking when he went into full time, the sort of processes that he set up, and how he sort of progressed from there. Because I think for all of us, going full time is a big thing, and it's not something that many of us take lightly. But I want to hear from you, Chris. How's things been so far? Obviously, you're doing the YouTube now and putting out content regularly. But in terms of starting eBay full time, what was the sort of mental process, and how did you get started on that?
Yeah, so so a bit of context, I guess. I've always done a little bit of reselling on the side. Like, I guess in the last 2 years, every so often I'd go out to the op shops on the weekend and, more probably hoard the items rather than sell the items, but knowing, I can flip these, right? And then when I, had maybe some holiday breaks, when I was working 9 to 5, have a holiday break, I would just kind of like list, 20 items or something, because I didn't have an eBay store or anything. So, I'd just be, making a bit of cash on the side. So I've always done it. And I did it as early as when I was 12. I used to sell Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and, nice. Now I think only if I'd held on to them, but that's a different story. So I've always had that experience, I guess. And then when it came to last year and, with everything that happened, it made me start to think, what am I doing and why am I working? And I really realized that it wasn't about money, because it wasn't motivating me, because I was working from home and getting the paycheck comfortable. But I'm just like, well, this is not that exciting. It's not that motivating. And I do want to be 100% transparent. I haven't actually quit my 9 to 5. I'm on a leave of absence. I have the luxury to be able to step away. Well, I had a lot of paid leave, but I can actually step away and take an unpaid leave of absence for a period of time and potentially still go back and, keep that job. So I've taken that opportunity to milk it and to really just jump in to see what I can do. And the way I looked at it was, well, here I am spending, unfortunately, 50 to 60 hours a week doing the 9 to 5, working weekends and things like that, just the nature of the job. So I was a project manager. And I thought, well, there's a whole bunch of different passions that I wanted to focus on, and reselling being one, knowing I can make some dollars and, to build out a podcast and, focus on the YouTube channel. So I'm thinking, well, what would happen if I spent the same amount of time doing those three things? What would happen? And reselling being the primary focus to bring in, some money, because my podcast isn't going to do that for any time soon. And even my YouTube, because I'm nowhere near those numbers yet. So I'm like, well, I have to double down on the reselling. And so having everything that I knew, I kind of just jumped in, focusing on the bare basics, meaning, I had 20 listings that I can do for free per month, maxing out that, getting some traction, getting some numbers. But what I actually did, and I think this is very important for anyone that's thinking about doing it full time versus even just wanting to get into the game, is so I finished up from my job, taking leave at the end of December. So October, November, December, I was just starting to get into a bit of a routine of what it would look like. So starting to put in daily listings or trying to average it out, so I'm getting a good batch, every week, and just seeing if I can get some numbers trickling over. And then what I wanted to actually do is then focus on actually, well, so when it came to the actual first day of starting going full time, that I've already got some backing, I've got a bit of a process, and I've got that mindset, and not, wasting any time jumping in, because I didn't want to then go learn again. Thanks, Toby. I didn't want to go learn again, when jumping in full time, because to be honest, I didn't really have that luxury of time, because I want to try and double down while I'm, still getting a bit of paid leave. And, that's half pay at the moment. Actually, it's a bit less, just the way I was able to organize it. And because at the end of the day, I want to be able to make the money come in. So that was really the mentality, and I think that's important for anyone jumping into any side hustle to go full time. Is make sure you have it as a side hustle first. Like, give it a go, test it out, see if something's sticking. Because if you are getting 1 sale, 2 sales here and there, and you're only putting in an hour, well, as soon as you start to double down or 10x that, well, it will start to make sense, right? Yeah, exactly. So that was really that thinking. Yeah.
You can tell, like, just by the way you speak, that you got that project mentality, and that's my job as well. So there's a few project managers hanging around the reselling space at the moment. So it's interesting to hear.
Can't trust them.
No, I wouldn't either. They're all about getting other people to do stuff for them. That's what project.
That's it.
So yeah, it's interesting to hear like how you're saying. So how long is your leave of absence? Like, what's your period of time that you've sort of got to get where you need to be?
So I'll be full transparent. So basically the way I did it is I had about 3 months of full paid leave and then 3 months of half paid leave, which is long service leave. In Victoria, you're able to half it and take double the length, but half the pay. If anyone doesn't know that, you can do that in Victoria. And so basically my first half pay has just kicked off. And I'll be getting half pay until May 17th. And then basically what I'll be looking to do is continue unpaid leave, at least till the end of the year. And I think that's really important is because at the moment I've had the luxury of getting full pay for a period of time while doing the side hustle. Now I'm getting into the part where I'm getting less pay and doing the side hustle, doing the hustle. And then I'll be able to then experience of getting no comfort coming in and having to rely fully on and
just cutting it.
Exactly right, phasing it. And I think, that's my unfair advantage to other people is, people jumping in balls deep. I mean, like you can't, you can do it. You 100% can do it, but it's risky as heck. And I've also got to be very transparent that, I'm still living at home. I don't have to worry about paying for a mortgage. I don't have a family to feed and things like that. So that makes a huge difference. And I think people need to just, I want to be 100% transparent with that because, that's my lifestyle, and it makes a huge difference because I do have savings as well. So if I don't start to see the numbers consistent over the next 6-7 months, I've got the backup of savings as a backup plan, which I know I'll have to dig into because my profits at the moment wouldn't pay for my lifestyle or being able to, do what I want to do with my money. So that's it's interesting to hear, and everyone's different in their circumstances. So being able to sort of like articulate what those are and why you are where you are is a crucial part of that. I just saw Leanne jump in as well. So good to see you, Leanne. Thanks for being here. We always like to see Leanne around here. Brad, I think it's a good time for you to jump in as well. So you're kind of like 6 months down the road, or probably more like 4 months down the road from where sort of Chris is at now. And I guess you're in a different position again because obviously, you got a young family. And so I guess talk through when you were leading up to it, and you've been very transparent on your channel about, you got your payout from your job and that's helped you put you in the position you are now. But how was your mindset when you started to where it is now? Has it changed a lot? And do you feel more comfortable now that you're sort of 6 to 7 months in and sort of seeing that turnover pretty regularly, I'd suggest?
Yeah, I'm 100% more comfortable now, like further on down the track. The build up to it was, I said for a long time I wanted to get out of the shit work that I was doing, and that was because my body was starting to become destroyed from doing. I was actually literally talking to Cara last night saying I'm still trying to adjust to a normal pattern where it comes to sleep. Like I only did shift work for 7 years, and some people, they do it for 20, 30 years. Like, I just don't know how they could do it that long, So in that sense, like just the whole body thing and just feeling happier and healthier. I've lost, I think, nearly 7 kilos since I stopped working there, all that sort of stuff, because I was binge eating at bloody 3 a.m. and stuff because I needed that sugar kick, and all that sort of stuff. So in that sense, man, like I'm just pumped. I'm loving life. And it's the best thing that ever happened to me was losing my job. Simple as that. So, and like you said, and as I've mentioned 1,000 times before, I did get a payout. I got a pretty good payout. We got paid out on night shift and 12 hours. So I was not complaining with that. And that has helped 100%. There's no way I would have jumped balls deep in without some sort of backing, and also we had savings as well because I had reselling as a side hustle for 2 years before that happened. So I built up a pretty healthy little savings account as well on top of that. So now I'm looking at it, man, I roll out of bed and go to work. I've got street sharks hanging off my desk. I've got, all the shit that I grew up with. Talking to all you crazy lot, I'm loving life at the minute, and that's kind of for me. Yeah, I've definitely taken a pay drop, 100%. Reselling will not get it can, depends how hard you want to go. But reselling won't make you a millionaire within, a few months. You can go as hard as you want and you can make good money. If you're switched on with your niches, you can do really well, that's for sure. But for me at the moment, it's all about happiness, and that's where the value is for me, because I'm not just walking around like a zombie. I'm spending more time with my kid. Like, I can hang out with him without my eyes hanging out my head because I haven't slept in 3 days, and I struggled with the sort of night shift sleep stuff. So, I'm just at the point now where I'm cruising, and I've said all along, I don't know if this is going to go on forever. I've got plans for it to sort of go on forever. I'm still busting my ass. It's not like I'm kicking back with the feet up having a VB every morning. Only some mornings, but I'm definitely putting in a lot more hours and earning a lot less money than what I did when I worked for someone. But the joy is I don't have to answer to anyone except for old algorithm some days. And I just have that flexibility. And we spoke about that a couple of weeks ago when a few things were going on here with sickness and all that. And I had that. I could work whenever the hell I wanted to work. So I'm just sort of loving that at the minute. And that's sort of where I'm at now. Like, my mindset's so much better just in that sense. But, once again, I had sort of similar to Chris, I suppose. He's got sort of his payments. I had a payout. So I, for a little while, fed myself from that. But I've tried not to touch that too much. So that's another bonus too. I'm trying to, I've got to pay the mortgage each week. And then I run sort of everything percentage-based. So for the money that I sort of earn each week, I read Barefoot Investor, so I'm trying to sort of follow a similar sort of path to what he does, but a lot different. I changed it up. I don't agree with everything he said, and it's not for everyone, but, I've got separate things where I do 5% into this, 5% into that, the emergency fund, all that sort of stuff. And at the moment, it seems to be going all right for me. So, just loving it. Happiness where it's at.
I think it's
awesome.
Just hearing that definitely sort of drives me more to get where I want to be. I just want to read a couple of things out here before I go into that. But Scotty's saying I'm retired, so anything I make is for play and enjoy the time. Absolutely. Nice. Everyone has a different why and circumstances, 100%. Leanne went from 3 jobs to 0. Best thing ever. That's a big fact. I'm in the same situation as Chris. I still live at home with mum and dad, and so blessed to be. And I think that's a massive thing. I've been listening to a lot of mindset stuff, and Gary Vee always pops in there because he's all about business and stuff. And he was saying, like, if you can comfortably live at home when you're young and do a side hustle and build that wealth from there, you're ahead of the game already. And I think that's 100% true. And as a part-timer with a full-timer in the house, it's definitely different looking from the outside in. So I definitely I feel the benefits of having a full-time eBay person in the house like Jazzy. She can do whatever she needs to whenever she needs to do it. Obviously, we're pretty set in how we do things so that we get what we want out of it. But I also see the corporate side of life where you get that constant paycheck, which is why I'm still currently part-time reselling, because we have to replace 2 incomes, not one. And we have big overheads with mortgage and stuff. So I think everyone's in a different position, but I definitely want to get to that point where you boys are, especially knowing that, I might take a pay cut, but I'll be happier. So I think that's a big point you guys have picked out there.
That's the thing that, like, a lot of people go, I want to, go balls deep full time. But I mean, it's not the greatest thing in the world. Don't get me wrong. I'm saying here I'm happy, but it's not for everyone. It's not all tits and frothies. You got to work your ass off. If you want to get those consistent numbers and you want to build up, it's not just going out, finding some shit on the thrift and listing it every day. You've got to be constantly building up your knowledge base. So for me, I'm obsessed with learning new markets and stuff, but at the same time, I don't want to overwhelm myself with all these new markets. So, finding those balances and stuff, it's just, For me, I'm not going to lie. I fucking miss having it as a side hustle because I had a pretty good wage that came in every week. And then, if I sold 20 things for the week, I might make $1,000,
Yep.
500,000 bucks extra on top of my wage. And then, I can go out and buy these footy jumpers and all this stupid shit that I collect, or I can reinvest in other stuff, And I do miss that. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. And a lot of people just love that. Like I've spoken to, like Robbie Hollywood, you chat to him and he loves that side of things. He picks up the shit that he loves. He doesn't overstock himself. He just picks up bits and pieces, things he likes, in, out, extra cash. And it's a hobby. And that's where I started. But, for me, I got super passionate about it. But, it's not for everyone, that's for sure.
Correct.
Yeah. I really want to get into this full-time. Honestly, the amount of money eBay makes me is more than retail casual job. I'm stuck working the rest of this month, but next 2 months I'm on 2 days for them. Yeah, nice. I think this is a good point that Drew's made here. Going full-time has been a massive wake-up call for sure. Entirely different mindset from being a side hustle. And I can definitely see that not only in the people around me, but obviously with Jazzy being full-time where, you have to take money out of the business regularly to keep paying her. So, it's a different mindset, but I think
that's a key word is mindset as well. And I also want to clarify for people is, so I'm not doing 5 days a week on eBay, like on the reselling, because I took away the time to focus on 3 areas that I wanted to build out, which was, to be honest, was to focus on actually building out a podcast, which is called Further Your Lifestyle. But I knew that I have to have money to be able to support that. And then, using both of those and my running content to build out my YouTube. So I'm probably really only spending 3 full days doing the eBay stuff and then doing 2 days of really on the podcast stuff. And now that I'm a good 90 days in, I'm getting to the point where I'm starting to realize it's like, okay, this is hectic as heck because I'm wanting to scale my reselling so I can continue to build profits and have that really consistent, income, which I know it will be roller coasters, but I have to double down as much as possible while I have that opportunity. And then I can at least have some level of consistency coming in. Whereas at the same time, if I want to grow my podcast, I have to be consistent with that too. So now it is getting to that juggling game. But I think the difference here is, though I might not be earning as much as I was, from my job, it's the mental space. I'm not stressed, right? I might be tired, but I'm not stressed. And I think that's super important is because I feel relaxed, I feel happy. And now on the weekends, I can go spend it with family. I can go spend it with my girlfriend. We can just chill, relax. Or if I want to go out for another op shop, I can and have some fun. But previously I had to think I have to be back by this time because I need to do some work so I can be prepped for the Monday morning. And that doesn't matter, right? If I'm doing anything on the weekend for work, it's, I'm now making a YouTube video or doing this or, just going through some listings or sorting, but I don't have to. And I think it's about creating that lifestyle. And once again, it comes back to everyone's, differences and circumstances. But I do want to be very honest on that. I'm not sitting here doing 5 days trying to smash it out. I mean, I could be doing probably 5 days worth of work when I think about it. But I think, that's the difference because I am trying to juggle multiple things and it comes down to priorities because if I wasn't doing the podcast, I think I would be able to do things a lot better or change the way I do things and even maximize more. But I have to juggle that priority. And I think that's important for people to understand as well, because it will be a lot of hard work going in, because especially if you have a family, that's kind of like the difference is, I don't have a family, but my other juggling is my other priorities and responsibilities. So if someone's jumping in full time, you're doing everything, right? You when you work for someone else, you can step away and, you can go home and yes, you attend to your family or whatnot, but working for yourself, it's a lot different because, you are having to do, stuff at 9 p.m. at night because that's the time you've got to do it or doing admin or answering emails. You're on 24/7. So that's something to really be mindful of.
Definitely. And I think when you were talking then, I was just thinking about like what a lot of the stuff I've been listening to. And I think nothing good comes easy, right? Like you have to be consistent with these things and you have to give yourself that time to grow something. So whether you have to put in those extra hours, like if you're doing a full-time job, then you've got that 3 to 4 hours after work where you can start building these things. But if this is your full-time job, you have to sort of segment your day to try and cover off on all those different 3 things. And Judda's got a young family, so he's got to segment his day around his boy. And I know, Brad, you take Tuesdays to sort of spend some time with Eli. So how have you sort of found that juggling act, like Chris was saying, around, obviously you're growing a really good YouTube channel and you know, that's growing really well. Your business is doing great, and you're trying to juggle the family as well. So how do you find that balance, and do you find yourself ever sort of struggling with that?
I have in the past. Like, I think I'm kind of all over it now. And I was trying to do 30 listings a day, which ended up becoming, to the point, you know, it was starting to become a burnout, because a lot of that was clothing. So there's a lot involved in that when you're doing the photography and measurements and stuff. So I've actually dropped that back to 20. So I physically list 20 a day. I will end and sell similar 20 a day now. And then anything else that gets listed. So if it gets to 10 in the morning and I've listed me 20 for the day, everything just goes into the draft folder now. So I build that draft folder up. So that's always there for the Tuesday when I'm with Eli. I can send all those items live that morning. I don't have to worry about it. I've found there a couple of times I was still checking my phone. Not so much the eBay, it was actually probably more the social media side of things. You know, I was just responding to messages on Instagram and all that sort of stuff. And it's just like, now, it's like, no, I've got to put that phone away and spend the time with him, because now I've got that freedom. I get to hang out with my boy every Tuesday. I didn't used to get that in the past. So I've got to enjoy it while I can, because he's growing up very fucking quick and he's full of attitude already. So, I want to enjoy that now. So that's sort of where I'm at. So I've kind of got that system now. Look, if I can nail the 20, sweet, then some days I may do 50 listings, but they all just go into the draft pile. And that gives me freedom. If it comes to a Saturday, I can have a whole Saturday off, you know? And that's sort of where I'm at now. So that's kind of the balance that I've got. And then the YouTube's sort of suffering a bit lately. I haven't been as motivated with YouTube of late. It's just the program that I do all my editing on and stuff has gone to shit, and it just keeps glitching shit out and cutting out audio, and I just can't be fucked making YouTube videos anymore, to be honest. I'll get that kick back, but that's I just got to work out a new system. I don't like learning from scratch. So, but yeah, I've got a pretty good system now, but it does change a lot, you know. It's, and I think change is good, because that's how you kind of grow and continue to grow. And as sort of people know, I'm getting help now too, so I got people taking photos and doing some measurements and all that sort of stuff. I plan to have a couple by the end of the year, and hopefully maybe someone working 2-3 days a week full time. So that's the plan, and that's the goal, and we'll see how we go.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think the Gons here makes a pretty good point. Like, with reselling, it's all about like the compounding, right? Like at the start, you want to be reinvesting as much as you can back into that business, and letting the stock levels grow until you get to that point where you're making those, you know, regular sales. And Brad was sort of touching on that before at the start, when you say you kind of get in that rhythm and you know what your store sort of feels like. And when you have those down periods, you're sort of scrambling to try and find what's wrong. And that kind of also fits into that routine of finding what works best for you. So, yeah, definitely. Scott's saying I'm a one-man band, so for me, I get to wake up and do what needs to be done. Kids are adults now, so they look after themselves, and I get to list and play with toys. That's a dream for sure. What's up? Neville's in the house, living the dream, Charlie's saying. Zach's in as well. What's up, Zach? Good to see you. Thanks for coming along. Thanks, everyone, for being here. We really appreciate everyone. 51 in the house, so thanks for coming over to join in on the chat with Chris. But I think both you boys touched on some pretty important stuff there about trying to find a schedule that works for you. And like Brad, you said, you're scaling it back. You're kind of working out how much you need to get into your store to get you to that point that's going to pay the bills. And I think for most of us, that's probably the goal, right? I don't think there's too many of us that expect to be driving Lambos anytime soon. I know Chris might have a few things up his sleeve, but
why would he drive a Lambo? He can fucking run quicker than one.
Yeah, it's just
his video.
Especially with his new Cumulus, ASICS Cumulus running shoes he's got on.
Might need me a pair of them. I might be blowing as hard next time I do a run, eh?
Yeah, so you throw me off there, Flip. I guess, yeah, these are all things that you have to consider when you go full-time, right? I don't think anyone takes this lightly. Like, I think we all are pretty serious about our businesses in our own ways. And yes, we might screw around at times and, make a funny video when you got Brad around and, do some funny stuff as well, Chris. But at the end of the day, we're all here to try and make ends meet. And however you need to do that for yourself is up to you. Do you guys have any sort of things to add to that before we get into sort of sales of the week? Or
yeah, I mean, look, I think that's exactly it, right? And I think understanding your why, which I know some people have been putting in the comments as well, and we've kind of touched on it, why we jumped into it and stuff, whether it's with reselling or lifestyle change or anything like that. So understanding your why is going to be key for all that. But then the other thing is also having a bit of an idea of, I mean, you're never going to know your end game because it's going to slightly change, because as you grow, you don't know what you don't know. So the opportunity comes to you and you didn't even realize that could be an opportunity. But, there needs to be something that you're going for, right? Because if you're just doing it, you're going to get burnt out for the sake of just doing it, because you're probably likely just competing or comparing. And, that's not going to help you. So understanding what you're trying to achieve is key. And I think, you both said it really well. If we're just trying, at the end of the day, we're just trying to make enough money to live and have a lifestyle, and, understanding what that looks like. Is it because, you want to have a lavish lifestyle or, buy another house or whatever? Or is it just because you want to be able to do it as a side hustle and save up, just that house deposit? And maybe that's all you need versus, for me, obviously I'm not married. I don't have kids, any of that. So like, there's no house of that kind of proportion involved either, but there's going to be a level of it. Well, I am aiming towards that. I'm still going to need to do that, because really in terms of that kind of lifestyle, that hasn't even really started. So it's a bit of a scary thing to think about, but I think that would be my two things: is understand your why and where you're going, or your end game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a key point there. Is, like you said, you're not going to know what that end game is, but if you can kind of have a vague idea of, I want to get to 250K or 100K or 60K, whatever that is, I think if you have that goal and how you're going to get there and break that down is important. Do you have anything on that, Flip, at all before we move on at all?
Nah, let's move on. I do want to mention one thing though. I got a special guest here tonight. Another special guest, because so many people have asked me about this, right? And I copped it on one of my YouTube videos. For anyone that follows my YouTube, if you don't go and sub, it's not good, but it's worth it. But this little fella, he might be familiar in the old YouTubes, the old Cletus here. He's the old Cletus the Clown. Look at him. Have a look at him.
Good
specimen. So people want updates, apparently. They want updates on where Cletus is at. So Cletus is now currently on eBay, the big fella. Funny looking fucking head on him, isn't he? So what we've done, we've thrown him up for nearly $400 with offers to see what happens. Definitely got that vintage smell about him. Smells like this kind of thing. But the update, people want the update. He's at 118 views on eBay, and we've got 4 watches. 4 watches. I don't know if they're people within the community or what, but Cletus might be going to a new home soon. So we've whacked him up. This was an experiment. He's probably not even worth the bloody $10 I paid for him, to be honest. But this little vintage clown is a little experiment. We're going to see if we can sell him on eBay and how much we can get for him. So $390 with 4 watches at the minute, so Cletus, and he keeps moving around. I don't know how he's getting around the house all the time, but anyway.
I could not have that in my house, but like for real, I would.
Oh, mate, when I was saying that, I was just like, I got to fucking buy that. I don't care if I didn't buy it really with intent to sell. I was just like, he's going to come out in the bar with me, hang out, get on the frothies, But we thought we'll chuck him up high because, fuck, does he smell like an old lady? He's been around. I'd love to see the history through this bloke's eyes. He's been around for a long time.
He's seen some things. I wasn't expecting a clown on apart from myself tonight, but we'll let that one slide. I just want to say a quick hello to a couple more that have dropped in. I saw Sam drop in. Good to see you, Sam. I saw Leanne throwing a bit of shade here as well, saying that I'm getting sacked from Aussie Thrifters, and Cara and Jazz are just going to be the Aussie Thrifters. I think it definitely get more views. I mean, come on. 2 girls, 1 IKEA bag.
Make sure to go over and watch Cara's channel too. She's just dropped the video.
Dropped the vid. Jazz should be able to drop her link in.
Drop it
I
in.
watched it straight away, so jump straight on that one. It was awesome.
I haven't seen it yet. I'll watch it when we're done here.
I think everyone's freaking out about the clown. I would not sleep with that in my house. Yeah, me either. I can't do that. Please, can he feature in more videos? I need Cletus for Octolair. There we go. There's no lead for the length of his legs either. He can run fast.
Oh, yeah. Like a big fucking giraffe. Look at him.
Jeeves.
Yeah, he's a big unit. He's not fucking around.
Question
he might give you a run for your money.
Yeah, I reckon. Jeeves.
Hey, good old Cletus.
There's Kara's channel right there as well. So thanks, Jazz. All right, boys, let's get into the normal segments of the week. And we want to hear from you guys as well. What your favorite sale of the week was. Now, it doesn't have to be anything too expensive. It can be a high-priced item. It can be your best sale. It can be something like Cletus there that's just unique and fun. So you guys are going to have to give me a second while I work out how to share my screen again, because this happens every week. But we'll get there. We will go with this one first. We'll give the guest first shot at the pie here. So tell us about these, Chris.
There's a good story to this. So these are 2 of 30 that I've got listed. And the story is I had been going to a Vinnie's for about 4 or 5 weeks, and there was this big tub of old wooden vintage Thomas the Tank engines and, and friends, and then the tracks as well. Now, they had $100 on it. Now, I knew it was worth way more than 100, but I'm like, I don't want to pay 100 because it was all wrapped up, and I could only see in it, and I didn't just know, so I just wasn't comfortable with it. So I finally rocked up when the boss man was in there, and he knows me. He sees me quite often, and I said, I'm so happy you're here. I've been eyeing off your trains down there, and want to know if you can do me a deal. And ended up getting it for 70, and. Nice. So when I opened them up, I could have probably just flogged it off for 150 and got all my money back. But I went through each one, did the research and itemized them all. And there's probably about $600 worth of value now that I've listed them all. And these 2 sold on the same day of listing. So I basically almost made the money back. And that's why I just wanted to put it, because I sold, I think it was in the first month or second month, I had a few Thomas the Tanks that I sold from a garage sale. And what always surprises me with this stuff is, you can have these things sitting for a while, and then all of a sudden someone just jumps on and starts buying them all at 2 a.m. in the morning. And I'm thinking, who the heck is buying Thomas the Tank Engine at 2 a.m. in the morning? And, it's like, to see these go quite quickly. Obviously, they're probably worth maybe a bit more than this because they went real quick, which I don't care too much because, at the end of the day, it went to the same person. I saved on postage and all that jazz. So, to get $50 straight from 2 Thomases, and I've still got 30 more 28 more listings. It's happy days. So it's definitely a favorite sale for me because it has with the story too.
I think I know who's been buying these Thomas the Tank Engine things. So I reckon some blokes got on the wacky tobacco at 3 a.m. in the morning. Watched a bit of Thomas the Tank, smashed a few Cheetos, and gone, I need to buy these things. That's who's buying those things at 2 a.m. in the morning. That's pretty cool. I like stories behind sales because realistically, that's what makes our job, right? Like having a story when you sell something. Like, I found this, or I got this from this person, and having like that relationship with what you sell, I think makes selling so much more fun. And Brad, I'll get yours up. Your item, not we'll.
That's the after party.
Tell us about these ones, because I have not picked up that brand before, so you're gonna have to do a bit of education.
So this is one where I'm sort of coming at the jean sellers and the girls, because I'm the same. I've never picked this brand up, and if I seen it, look, honestly, I probably wouldn't pick it up. I've had this one for a little while, I won't lie, and it's just sat in the old DP because I didn't know whether I was just going to donate this or what, but I was actually given these quite some time ago. I was given a lot of stuff through a very good friend of mine, and it was a lot of sort of her family stuff. They cleaned out the house from things that happened and whatnot, and they gave me a lot of stuff and said, if you want it, take it. And I don't know this brand. I just never heard of it or anything. So I'm calling out, like, obviously I sell a lot of clothing and jeans and all that sort of stuff. I don't sell women's. And these were women's flares. So if anyone in the chat has seen or heard of these before, let me know. But the only reason I went high is because it's my old method that I talk about all the time. If there's none other on eBay, it's rare. So, boost it with offers and Look, we got it. I had these listed for I think it was about 140, and I got an offer for the hundreds. So that's showing the theory that I talk about quite often happening, and it happens.
I want to show the other one that you the longer version, so people can get a better look at them.
Yeah, have a look at them. They're right out there. The old flares.
That's cool, man.
So awesome. It's, I don't know if flares are sort of back in at the minute or what. Are they coming back in? I heard a thing a while ago.
I reckon you'd pull out a flare right flip. I reckon you'd go right in a bit of Saturday night fever get up.
I reckon I could. I
might have to do favorite jeans to sell part 2.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Get on the flares. I might even try and thrift myself a pair before I come over to Adelaide next week.
I reckon you could do tights that sell the best and snap yourself into some Lululemons.
We could give it a crack, eh?
That'll turn some heads. Now I wanted to share this one because they won't let me do it, but sure. Because we picked this up from Hammock Hustler in the auction raffle that she did
nice
6-7 months ago. So I bought one ticket, $20, won it. It sold today for $2.99 plus post international. So
nice.
It's been sitting there a while. We had it listed high, but we went with the Judder theory, listed high and wait for offers, and they took it at full price. So definitely one of the better sales we've had this week. So I wanted to share that one for sure.
Well done.
Saw a few in the chat talking about what else we sold. Jazz actually sold the Otter shirt that she picked up with Cara in that video. Actually, she sold that for $45 this week.
Nice.
Anyone else dropped any sales in? I didn't see anyone else with sales. If anyone has any sales, drop them in the chat. Flares have been in for a while. Amazing jeans.
There you go.
I think it's pronounced Dash A.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
I definitely would have called it like Dash Hound or something.
Fucking Dash.
Yes, so that's sales of the week. Drop sales of the vintage jacket, vintage guest jacket 2 to 100. That's gold right there. $10 DVD VCR combo for 140. 5 days listed. Gotta love those. Nice. The golden bolo, yeah. Price high and take offers is good thing as some stuff sells at a higher price, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Sold a scale model Red Bull Ricardo car for 120. Nice. I've been getting into a bit of the F1 on the on Netflix. There's a show that's going around. It's pretty cool seeing all those guys get around the track. So, yeah. All right. Well, we're almost 45 minutes in. This time has flown. Kara's saying her book's for $270.
Wow.
Awesome sale. And a huge lot of Thomas the Tank track cars and accessories, $180 on Marketplace. There you go, Chris.
Yep.
Man of your own heart right there. So we do need to get into dog shit, Chris. Now, I don't know if you follow along, but dog shit, every week we bring up things that have just turned our stores into dog shit. So here's a dog shit. That's the dog shit. Squeezing one out. He's squeezing one out. So obviously, if you haven't had any dog shit this week, just think back at some of the times that you've had in the past on eBay and think of a dog shit. Give us your best dog shit. We'll let Brad go first, and you can have a little bit of a think of what you got coming.
Within things that I'm willing to talk about, I'm dog shit free. I'm pretty good. I had a dog shit, but I sort of can't chat about it. So I've spoken to you about it, Brad.
Yeah.
Leave everyone hanging on that. I had a little dog shit over the last couple of days, but it's on a private store, and I can't explain what actually fucking happened. So we'll just leave it at that.
It's definitely dog shit, that one. Chris, tell us.
Yeah. Look, I haven't had anything that ended the world or very frustrating, but I think, and it comes with the lessons and learning, and I've had a refund or a request for refund and return, and when I had clearly put some things in the description, and it was debatable. I think it could go either way, but because I'm early days, at the same time, I want to make sure that I'm keeping up consistency and that positive feedback. So I'm at 308, 100%. So I do want to, basically take their side and get it and understand. It was basically I sold a GTA 5 for PC, and I had put in there as is, does not include everything. Unfortunately, I wasn't specific enough around the serials because I know they don't come with the serial codes, and that's only given by your email address. The person that purchased it, he didn't know either. He purchased it for his son. So I played the dumb guy as well, and we're going to say, yeah, no harm done, send it back, whatever. Because I knew other people are buying them because they have the license already with their email, but they want the actual hard copy.
Okay.
So it's no big issue. But I think the other thing that's been a little annoying is I lost my my 44-day streak of sales, which just annoying, right? It's just something to keep the momentum. And, just the inconsistent, not in terms of the sales, but just eBay of lately, like they must have done an upgrade.
Yeah,
and, when I go to send out offers, it says OFE and it doesn't say offer. And I don't know if that's just my side or if the user's seeing that as well. And they've cut out certain letters. And then, I think I've been having some message issues as well. Like you guys had I got an offer on something and it says you still have one unread message. I'm like, crap, I didn't even see this. But then I go into it and then nothing's there. So I'm like, well, is there? And so, just little things like that, just because it wastes my time. And, I don't have that time to be wasting. So that's really, to be honest, it's been happy days of late. And I'm really trying to I'm probably overdoing things in terms of packing and making the experience as good as possible, because I feel like it's 90 days in, but this is crucial for me because it's setting the expectation, it's setting who I am, and that feedback is going to really stick around for the next it sits around for the next 90 days, right? So I want people to be able to see that I am delivering a great service and great product and with great quality. So at the end of the day, that's hasn't really been too bad, to be honest.
I think you hit the nail on the head there. It sets you up for the future, right? When you start creating habits for yourself and you start providing that good service to a customer, then that just becomes the norm, and those customers will come back. Like, we have return customers for our RMs all the time, because they know that we're going to get it to them on time. We're going to give them a good service. If there's any issues, we'll sort it out. So I think you hit the nail on the head there. Just sometimes you need to create those habits for yourself to succeed in these games. So, dog shit for us was probably midweek when I forgot to re-promote. So that was my fault. Copped that on the chin because that destroyed our store for about 3 days. So I was looking at my impressions and I was like, what's happened here? They literally nosedived, and it even impacted my organic search. So I wasn't sure if that was to do with the Vero that we had, the 2 returns that we had open, or my promoted issue. So there was 4 things there that could have made it happen. But that was a good dog shit. Nothing too bad because we worked it out. But not nice. Dogfish shit this week. Try and say that 10 times fast. Would be a buyer that lodged a payment dispute 15 minutes after I posted the item. That's dog shit. Got a negative this week on a refund. They are refusing to talk until I give them my phone number. Yeah, I would not be doing that one. Sold a $425 dress and someone cancelled.
Jeebus.
Those sales, when you get them, is a massive high, and then for that to just come crashing down. Not good. My dog shit is I sold an item that had sold last month and was shipped, which I had no record of being relisted.
That's happening a bit. I've seen that happen a bit.
Yeah, I haven't been paid. My dog shit is that eBay sided with buying on a VCR that got damaged during shipping. They have their full refund back. I still have a file, an insurance claim, and they're not going to send it back. Wow. Sam's not offering returns. Guy puts in a did not fit return request. I said no. Spoke to eBay first. Guy lodged an ad with his payment provider. eBay saying I'm in the right. We shall see. That's the old problem with them not offering returns. The old ad.
So that my first refund, which was about a month and a half ago, and Diary Flipper, I spoke to you about that, and I said I don't offer returns, and I said please check the measurements. All the measurements are there. They got it, and they said it doesn't fit, and complained. And I'm like, come on, and they weren't responsive. I'm like, it's just not worth it because it's early days. I'm like, sure, just I didn't give them a refund to post it back because I offered free postage. Just made them pay for it, and met in the middle. And I ended up actually relisting it, and I sold it for more. So it's all. And, at the end of the day, it's not that bad, but it's just frustrating when you've got all the details in there, and it's like please do have a look. And it's I get it because it's annoying on their side, but I mean, it was only $35. I mean,
when you're doing all the right things and people aren't reading descriptions and stuff, it does get frustrating. I absolutely understand. I've definitely been there a few times over the last 3 to 4 years. So yeah, it's interesting to hear everyone else's dog shits. Every week there's something different on eBay.
Yeah.
So
and in this world of fuckwittery, isn't
it? Yeah. 10 minutes to go, boys. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a quick run around. Bit of a, we'll obviously hype Chris up at the end, but Flipper, give us a quick rundown of what's happening on the YouTube channel. You mentioned that you're sort of struggling to, find the motivation for that at the moment, but do you sort of have a plan to try and light that fire again and get some stuff out?
Yeah, absolutely. There's I've still got stuff there. It's the motivation I lost was something that's similar that happened to you, Brad. It was, I'd done a whole video, the recent What Sold video that I just put out. And once I sort of uploaded it was ready to go, I give it a quick watch back and all the audio was out by like a mile and some of the videos jumped around and shit. And it's just like this program that I use is really glitchy now. They updated it and it's just gone to shit. And, when I'm setting my ways, I don't have the time to learn a new program. So I've been using this one ever since I started making videos. And it's taken me, I don't even know how long I've been making videos, 12, 18 months. And it's taken me this long to get my head around to different edits on that and stuff. And I finally just started to nail it. It's gone to shit and it's almost unusable. So I'm sort of looking at other options now. I mean, I've got actual cameras there that I can use rather than my phone. So, it's just a matter of getting that time to have a play and start using something different, I think. And that's where, until I can sort of teach myself that's where the motivation side of things will be. But I do have a unedited thrift video there that I might try and slap together for this week. I mean, I'm still trying to get out at least one a week, And once I get back on a bit of a consistent streak, I plan to put out a lot more content. So that's for sure. So there'll definitely be a video this week. It's just a matter of what. I don't know yet. So I got that. I'm hoping to get the podcast back into gear. I've taken a fair break from that. That was sort of something that got pushed aside. Not that I really put any time into it. I was doing interrogations purely for the YouTube and stuff. And the last guest I had was Chris. That's the last one that you can sort of have a listen to. But now I'm going to start doing a lot of these chats as well because we're getting a few people on here. So this week, sometime in the week, you'll see on Spotify our chat with Maddie last week. That will be up on Spotify. This chat will be up on Spotify probably the week after, and I'll try and get a consistent roll of that. Plus, I'm sort of planning on doing some other things on there and starting to talk to some people again, get some more guests on, do a bit more of the serious sort of stuff, which I'm not that well known for. So that'll be all sort of 100% on the podcast thing. So I got that. Awesome. And also I'll give a quick one last plug to the Winners Vault over on Facebook.
Oh, yes.
If you're not over there yet and you do love a good raffle, come on over. We've had a couple of things go off now. There's now an absolute fucking gem up there. Sam Hammick Hustler has a Bert and Ernie 97 on the Screen Stars tag up for raffle. So only $10 and there's only 10 spots. So 1 in 10 chance you can win it. If you can get that, that's an absolute ripper. So there's going to be a bit more stuff on there as we try and grow it. If you are into that, I mean, it's not for everyone. Obviously, it's essentially gambling, but you can pick up some really high-end items for some really cheap money. So we've had so far Brisbane Lions footy jumper team sign. We've had the Blake Griffin NBA ball that went off the other night. Sam's got a wicked shirt up at the minute. Brad, you've done some for your card stuff. So, and look, anyone with sort of some high-end stuff that they do want to raffle off, just send me a message. Everyone's welcome to have a crack on there, providing it's something that people buy into and all that sort of stuff. I mean, we don't want 20 spots on, an empty stubby for $20 each because people aren't going to buy into it, are they? But it's going to be a lot of fun over there. So if you're into that sort of thing and you're on Facebook, swing it over to the Winners Vault. See if you can win yourself something.
Hold on a sec. I think I've got it. There we go. Look at that.
Oh, he's got it.
Hey,
there's the shirt at the moment with the Bert and Ernie. $10 a spot, so that's quality right there. Got a spot myself. So that's the Winners Vault. Go over there and check it out. 117 members on there. Lots of familiar faces up there as well, which is awesome. So
tell your friends too. Send the invites out if anyone's interested. There's a lot of sports, vintage T-shirts. There's going to be cards, all sorts of stuff. So.
Yeah. Just before we move on to Chris, I just want to point out. I think Sam was saying eBay told her not to offer returns for a while. I know that she was getting some like high return rates, and that was potentially impacting sales. So, interesting approach on that one from eBay to say that is very interesting. So Chris, 1 second, mate. Give me 1 second because I got a little trick up my sleeve here. Tell us about the YouTube channel. Tell us about the future of the channel, and what's the plans. If anyone hasn't checked out Chris, the channel is right there for you. CLF. How do you say CLFurlong? That's how you. Yep. CLFurlong. 749 subscribers. So let's see if we can get that close to 1,000 pretty quickly and get Chris monetized, because that would be bloody awesome.
Thanks,
so tell us a little bit about what the channel is about. Obviously you do some thrifting stuff there, but yeah, take it away.
Yeah, so I mean, thanks so much. So I started with running, and that's why it's called Running Lifestyle and everything in between. But I figured once I took the pivot and to take a chance on me, I figured it makes sense to start to share kind of just the journey, the bit of fun and games along the way with the thrifting and sourcing. And then I wanted to also make sure I'm giving the full transparency of what I'm making per week, and also how I'm doing per month. Keeps me accountable. It helps others, and I think it's important, because it'll be good to look back in a year's time and see what I was doing per week, or just to, kind of react to my own videos in some sense, right? So, I mean, I've been inspired by a lot of the folks that are already doing this, including both of yourselves, right? So it's been great to be able to see what others are doing and then take my own spin on it, and, even react to the community in terms of what they're asking for. What's coming up is each week I do try and bring out a what's sold for the week, just to give, full transparency in terms of how things are tracking. I then usually do a thrifting video, and then at the end of the week, I'm usually doing something running related, because I do have obviously a community of runners that have been here since day dot. But one video that has been requested from a lot of the folks has been, how I'm doing my numbers, like tracking it, and my Excel, so stuff that you're seeing here on screen. So I am working on a bit of a template and a walkthrough video to get that out as soon as possible, because, well, one, I want to help people, and I think, I need to be able to give that value back, and rather than just share, look, I did this much money, and actually show people how I'm doing it to make my life easier. So I'm hoping to get that out this week. If not, it'll probably be the week later. But I also do have which isn't on this YouTube channel, is my podcast called Further Your Lifestyle. And that comes out once a week as well. So that's on another YouTube channel. So I'm really doing 4 videos a week. So it's a lot of work. Wow. So it's, and then on a monthly basis, what I will do is I release my full month income report in terms of what I've done. And I do a bit of a live stream within the first 5 days at the start of each month, just to check in on all my goals. So I'm not just tracking goals around my reselling, but around, my running, around, personal things, and my shares portfolios, and just a bit of everything. And I'm trying to make it as transparent as possible, just to, open it up and, help others, because whether people want to jump and take a leap or just start a side hustle, I think, we can all learn from each other, and I want to be able to do that and share that as much as possible. So, if you have questions anytime, please reach out, folks.
No, I love it. And Drew was saying thumbnail king, and I agree that thumbnails are very appealing. Sure. That's something that I suck at. I can't nail the thumbnails, so you're doing a lot better than me in that space.
Just to be honest, those thumbnails can take up to 30 minutes to do. Because I play, switch, change. Yeah. And yeah, it's worth it. It is worth it.
100%. I can see that they take time. I get so frustrated with mine. It's crazy.
Don't forget to sub to Chris. Chris. Someone drop his link in the chat if you can, and check out the podcast too. I'm loving the podcast, mate. You're doing really good with that. I think for me, I listen to it. It's very motivating, very inspiring, and it's it doesn't matter who you are, you can listen to it. So if I actually listen to this podcast and I listen to every single episode, the things you're talking about aren't reselling related, but I can bring that back as a reseller and make that work for me. If as someone, running another side hustle where they're making arts and crafts and all that sort of stuff and selling in the market, it can relate to that. It can relate to everyone. And that's what I love about it. It's very unique. Man. So if you're not listening to the Further Your Lifestyle podcast on Spotify, go over and have a listen, because it's life-changing. It's life-changing. I'm loving it. Doing a good job out there, man.
Zach just asked us to give us a quick shout out to Down Under Flea, who I know are doing a lot of stuff in the vintage community. So go check them out. Instagram. A lot of the resellers getting involved in that stuff as well. I know Brad's been involved, Drew and Sarah over there with their new project. So definitely worth a check out. Everyone's dropping the link in, which is awesome. Thanks, guys, for dropping Chris's link in. We do appreciate everyone that's came here tonight, not come here. But Chris, before we go, I guess thanks for coming. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
We appreciate you being here. We appreciate what you're putting out into the community. So thanks for your time on this Sunday evening. We hope that everyone's sales is great. But before we head off, is there anything you want to say before we say goodnight to everyone?
Big thank you to you guys. I really do appreciate it. And I think, I think at the end one thing I want to say is thank you to the community as well, because jumping in, it's always a bit awkward jumping into someone else's domain, because, I've tried to come in and really just push my way, like in terms of not trying to push anyone out, but like I'm trying to come in loud and big, right? And sometimes that can come across with the wrong intentions or idea or perception. And, you guys have just been so open, and, it's just been really encouraging and overwhelming to have the support, not just from you guys, but so many in this group chat and just in the community groups, and even on Instagram, people reaching out and helping and giving me tips and tricks. And yeah, it really is a blessing, and it means the world to me so much. So I just wanted to say a big thank you, and then encourage, if, once again, if people have things or want to know from me, please do ask, and I'll try and share the best as possible. And to be honest, I'm a bit scared to share the way I do certain things, because I know there's people that have been doing this and doing it so much better, and it makes me scared to think, oh, what if my way isn't good enough or something? And I've realized, people wouldn't ask if they didn't want to know. So that's just getting into that, getting out of my comfort zone for that, because I've usually used to set in my own ways, and that's why I'm trying to be as open as possible, because it's getting me into that zone of like, well, if people are asking, I got to deliver. So thanks so much.
I think two points there. Like, next to your head, growing stronger together is something that we've always been about here at Wide World of Reselling, and I think that's important for everyone, because, like you say, we might not be doing exactly the right thing, but sharing what you do, people can take little pieces of that and form it into something that works for them. So even if no one's 100% right, like you can't be in this game. So
everyone does, and that's what I've found. You can't just jump on YouTube and follow two Aussie thrifters and emulate their business model. You can't jump on, do exactly what I'm doing, or anyone. You get on and you pick different parts from everyone. Like, it doesn't matter how new you are in the community, whether it's someone that comes in, they've started reselling a week ago and they drop their first video. They might have a niche that is just blows us all out of the water. It's something we know absolutely nothing about. Just by watching them talk about something, you can learn. So, it doesn't matter if you've been reselling for 50 years or 50 minutes. You still have the ability to teach people things. It's just the way.
Yeah, 100%. That's definitely true. So, I think we've had a great chat tonight. We've gone over the hour, but it's been a great chat. It went real fast, and you always know when time goes fast, you're having fun. So thanks everyone for rocking up tonight. Make sure you do head over to Chris's channel, check it out, watch some videos, leave some comments, let him know you're enjoying the stuff, and we will see you back here, same place, same time, on the Wide World of Reselling next weekend, Sunday night, like always. Thanks again, boys. We'll see you next time on Wide World of Reselling. There's that bloody doll.